what happens after the last breath? Does the self dissolve into emptiness, or does it cross into realms beyond human comprehension? Today, we embark on a journey into one of the most profound and enigmatic texts of Tibetan Buddhism, the Bardo Thodol, known in the West as the Tibetan Book of the Dead. Imagine a guide that walks you through the deepest, most unfathomable moments of existence. That is the role of the Bardo Thodol. But this is not just a book about death. It is a map, a spiritual compass guiding the soul through the unseen landscapes beyond life's final breath. Prepare yourself, for we are about to step into this portal, decipher its messages, and perhaps unveil deeper truths about existence itself. The Bardo Thodol was composed by Padmasambhava, a legendary, almost mythical figure in Tibetan Buddhism. Born in India, he is credited with bringing Buddhism to Tibet in the 8th century and is revered as Guru Rinpoche, the precious master. But Padmasambhava was no ordinary monk. He was a master of esoteric wisdom, a yogi who had delved into the depths of mystical knowledge. His mission extended beyond guiding the living. He sought to illuminate the path for the dead, offering a chance at liberation even beyond the grave. From a young age, Padmasambhava displayed extraordinary mystical abilities, earning recognition as a Mahasiddha, a being of immense spiritual realization who had unlocked the secrets of the mind. Invited to Tibet by King Trisong Detsen, he arrived in a land steeped in shamanic and animist traditions, deeply rooted in the Bon religion. Faced with spiritual resistance, Padmasambhava employed tantric rituals and magical practices to integrate these indigenous beliefs into Tibetan Buddhism, ensuring its survival and growth. By founding Tibet's first Buddhist monastery, Samye, he laid the foundation for an enduring spiritual tradition. But his most transformative insight lay in understanding death, not as an end, but as a transition, an opening to ultimate spiritual liberation. He realized that at the moment of death, when the distractions of the physical world fade, the mind becomes receptive to a truth beyond illusion. Yet most souls are lost in fear and attachment, unable to grasp this opportunity. And so the Bardo Thodol was born, a guide to be read to the dying and studied in life, preparing the mind for the great transition beyond death. The 3 stages of the Bardo Thodol. The Bardo Thodol describes 3 major stages, or bardos, that every soul encounters. This is the first and most crucial threshold in the journey beyond life. As the body ceases to function, consciousness is released from its physical confines, entering a state of profound transition. It is at this moment that the soul encounters the clear light, a luminous, all-encompassing radiance that is neither external nor separate, but the very essence of awareness itself. The clear light is described in Tibetan Buddhist teachings as the pure, undistorted nature of the mind, an infinite, formless expanse of knowing beyond thought, emotion, and individual identity. It is beyond fear, beyond desire, beyond the illusions of self and other. For those who have prepared through meditation and spiritual practice, recognizing this light as their own true nature leads to instant liberation, dissolving all karma and ending the cycle of birth and death. This is the doorway to nirvana, an unshakable state of peace beyond suffering. Yet, for the unprepared, this moment is overwhelming. The light is too vast, too brilliant, too unfamiliar. Instead of surrendering to it, the soul recoils in fear, clinging to the remnants of self-identity and past attachments. This inability to let go generates confusion, and instead of merging with the infinite, the consciousness is drawn back into illusion, sinking further into the realms of existence. The opportunity for immediate liberation slips away, and the journey through the bardos continues, shaped by past actions and the lingering echoes of the mind's attachments. This is the first choice presented to the departing soul. Embrace the truth and be free, or retreat in fear and remain bound to the wheel of samsara. Carl Jung once wrote, "Gods and demons are projections of the unconscious, powerful and inescapable until understood as parts of ourselves." This insight echoes the experience of the Chonyed Bardo, the intermediate state where the soul, now freed from the constraints of the physical body, enters a vast and fluid realm of pure mental projection. Here, consciousness is laid bare, revealing the full spectrum of its inner world, its fears, desires, regrets, and the karmic imprints accumulated over lifetimes. The journey begins with encounters with peaceful deities, luminous and compassionate beings radiating wisdom, serenity, and love. They appear not as external saviors, but as manifestations of the mind's own highest potential, fragments of enlightenment that have always existed within. Yet, if the soul fails to recognize them as aspects of itself, if it clings to the illusion of separation, the visions begin to shift. Then come the wrathful deities, terrifying monstrous figures with flaming eyes, gnashing teeth, and thunderous voices. These nightmarish apparitions are not external tormentors, but raw expressions of the mind's suppressed emotions, anger, guilt, unfulfilled desires, and existential fear. They are karmic forces demanding acknowledgement, shadows of the self that have been ignored, rejected, or feared in life. In truth, they are no different from the peaceful deities. Both are projections of the same consciousness. But the unprepared soul, still clinging to ego, sees them as external threats and recoils in terror. This phase is a trial of awareness. The key to liberation lies in lucidity, in recognizing that all these visions, whether divine or demonic, are ephemeral illusions shaped by the mind itself. Those who can maintain clarity, neither grasping at the peaceful deities nor fleeing from the wrathful ones, can attain enlightenment. In that moment of realization, all projections dissolve and the soul awakens to its true nature. But for most, the pull of fear and attachment proves too strong. Unable to see through the illusions, they are swept deeper into the bardo, drawn inexorably toward rebirth. The cycle of samsara continues, dictated by the soul's unresolved karmic debts, until another opportunity for awakening arises. The final stage of the bardo journey is Sidpa Bardo, the threshold where the soul stands between the past and the future, drawn irresistibly toward a new existence. Here, all illusions and attachments reach their climax, and the accumulated karma of past lives, every thought, action, and intention, becomes the force that determines the path ahead. This stage is ruled by desire. The soul, still clinging to identity and sensation, is magnetized toward a new life, pulled into the current of samsara like a leaf caught in a river. It encounters visions of couples in union, symbolic doorways to birth. These visions are not random. They reflect the vibrational state of the soul, guiding it toward a family and a body that match its karmic imprint. The choice is not truly conscious. It is dictated by the mind's attachments, fears, and unresolved emotions. Yet, even here, at the very brink of rebirth, liberation remains possible. The Bardo Thodol, Tibetan Book of the Dead, instructs the soul to resist the pull of desire, to recognize the illusions for what they are, and to remain detached. If, in this moment, one can see through the cycle, if one realizes that all experience, whether life, death, or rebirth, is simply the play of the mind, then the cycle can be broken. This is the final opportunity for enlightenment. However, for most, this is an impossible task. The habits of thought and attachment, formed over countless lifetimes, are too strong. The ordinary soul, still veiled by illusion, succumbs to the pull of samsara, slipping into a new body, bound once more to the wheel of birth and death. And so, the cycle begins again. Although the Bardo Thodol is a book about death, we can extract 10 life-determining lessons from this mystical and mysterious text. Death is inevitable and part of the cycle of existence. Understanding and accepting the impermanence of all things can reduce the fear of death and increase appreciation for life. As soon as a new birth arises, karma begins to mature. This highlights the inseparable connection between beginning and end. Every birth carries within it the certainty of its own conclusion. The passage of time is inescapable, and resisting change only leads to suffering. Recognizing this truth allows one to live more fully, embracing each moment without attachment to permanence. The actions taken in life influence the future. Living an ethical and mindful life has a positive impact on karma and future rebirths. Whoever, at the hour of death, concentrating their thought only on me, departs abandoning the body, reaches my nature. And there is no doubt about this. This emphasizes the importance of cultivating positive thoughts and a focused mind throughout life, as they will shape the moment of death and what follows. A life guided by awareness prepares the soul for a peaceful transition, making it easier to attain a favorable rebirth or even liberation. The book describes the Bardo, an intermediate state between death and rebirth, as an opportunity to recognize reality's true nature and break free from the cycle of reincarnation. Beings have widely different spiritual and intellectual capacities. Some are so purified that they recognize the light without hesitation or doubt. This suggests that through purification and self-awareness, one can perceive the true essence of existence. The light symbolizes ultimate truth and enlightenment, and recognizing it means transcending illusions and overcoming the cycle of suffering. Those who fail to see it remain trapped in ignorance, bound to the wheel of rebirth. During the Bardo, mental impressions are amplified. Cultivating inner peace and emotional stability in life can help navigate the challenges encountered after death. Not everyone reaches the final moment with that awareness. Not all find themselves in such crystalline serenity as to see beyond the veil of Maya. This highlights the crucial role of mental clarity in the transition between life and death. The illusions of the material world Maya cloud judgment and create confusion. A mind trained in calmness and wisdom is less likely to be overwhelmed by the visions of the Bardo and more capable of recognizing the path to liberation. The book describes terrifying visions that may be encountered in the Bardo. Facing fears in life can prevent one from being overwhelmed by these visions after death. Those who have not had a master and have not received these teachings will fall into a great abyss, and due to unbearable continuous suffering, they will be in the deepest of hells. This implies that without preparation and spiritual guidance, one's fears and negative emotions can manifest as terrifying experiences. Facing those fears while alive through self-reflection and wisdom can make the transition less daunting and prevent the mind from being trapped in suffering. Worldly attachments can hinder the process of liberation. Reducing attachment to material possessions and relationships can ease the passage through the Bardo. Salvation means precisely the extinguishing of the personality, or escape from a new rebirth towards which karma, always maturing, propels itself. This suggests that true liberation comes from dissolving the ego and releasing attachments to individuality. The more one clings to identity and possessions, the stronger the pull of karma toward continued rebirth. Letting go allows one to transcend the cycle of suffering and move toward enlightenment. The book stresses the necessity of a spiritual guide to navigate the experiences of the Bardo and find liberation. Seeking a master or spiritual community can provide the support needed to face the challenges of life and death. But not everyone reaches the final moment with that awareness. Not all find themselves in such crystalline serenity as to see beyond the veil of Maya. And then, as has been said, the recitation of the Bardo Thodol is useful because it awakens liberating awareness in the deceased. This illustrates how guidance, whether from a master or sacred texts, can help one recognize the truth beyond illusions. Those unprepared may struggle at the moment of death, while those with proper teachings can use this transition to break free from suffering. Meditation helps one become familiar with their own mind and develop the awareness needed to recognize the true nature of reality. If this establishes a luminous connection between the visualized images, as happens for the living, when parallel phenomena occur in the course of the evocative process, the heart must be understood as the point corresponding to the heart in the subtle body, sprung from the conscious principle of the deceased. This suggests that meditation strengthens the connection between consciousness and the deeper reality of existence. By training the mind to visualize and control its experiences, one prepares for the visions of the Bardo, reducing confusion and increasing the likelihood of recognizing the ultimate truth. Past actions influence future experiences. Understanding karma's workings can motivate one to perform positive actions and avoid negative ones. Salvation means precisely the extinguishing of the personality, or escape from a new rebirth towards which karma, always maturing, propels itself. This reinforces that karma is the force driving the cycle of rebirth. Every action leaves an imprint, shaping the next existence. Those who act with wisdom and compassion accumulate positive karma, leading to better circumstances or even liberation. Ignorance and harmful actions, on the other hand, deepen the cycle of suffering. Death is not the end, but a transition. It can be an opportunity for spiritual growth and liberation from the cycle of rebirth. Salvation means precisely the extinguishing of the personality, or escape from a new rebirth towards which karma, always maturing, propels itself. This idea is central to the book. Death is a doorway rather than a finality. By preparing in life through wisdom, detachment, and spiritual practice, one can use the moment of death to transcend the limitations of existence and attain true freedom. The Bardo Thodol is not merely a book for the dead. It is a manual for the living. It provides a roadmap of consciousness, a guide for navigating the final frontier of existence with clarity and wisdom. Even for those who do not believe in reincarnation, its teachings resonate on a deeper level, speaking to the universal human struggles, the fear of the unknown, the seduction of illusion, and the longing for truth. Padmasambhava's wisdom reminds us that death is not an end, but a transition, a mirror reflecting the state of our mind. The way we live shapes the way we die, and the way we die shapes what comes next. But if we cultivate awareness, if we train ourselves to see beyond illusion, then perhaps, when the time comes, we will walk the path with open eyes. And beyond fear, beyond attachment, we may awaken to the luminous embrace of the infinite